to the Chwang Vibes, your leisurely small talks with Tiffany Wang and Henry Chang. Carry on.
You just gave up. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, WTBUradio.org, Instagram, all under the same handle, at Chwang Vibes. You can check us out on our personal Instagrams at __Beck, Beck as in Baekhyun, and at HenryChung31. For today, yes, today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, we have a very, very special guest.
Yes.
One who I've met once before. Tiffany, I have no idea how many times.
I've met 5 or 6 times before.
You apparently remember them because she counted every single time. The lovely Jenny Ma, welcome.
Welcome.
Exciting. So this week, I gave the reins to Tiffany.
For choosing the
Not
topic.
my fault. Whatever's about to happen.
It's going to be the
Not my
greatest episode, just because I took over.
This is about to be the worst episode, and it's because of Tiffany, not me.
Well, let's see.
But, Jenny, before we get into the rings of things, we just want to give you the microphone, actually, for 1 whole minute. Imagine you're in an elevator. Mark Zuckerberg to your left, Elon Musk to your right, and you have a minute to tell them who you are. What are you saying?
Alright, well, hi guys, my name is Jenny. I'm a junior at CAS, majoring in econ math, and I'm actually double minoring in visual arts and in Questrom. I am originally from Shanghai, but I moved to Dallas before high school. And yeah, I have a dog here. His name is Hot Pot.
Hot
Right
Pot?
here.
What?
Yeah.
Are you gonna eat him
This is
sometime?
how much I love Hot
What'd
Pot.
you just say? That's terrible. Oh my gosh.
No, it's funny because like when before I brought him here, whenever we're at home, my mom's like, "Let's have Hot Pot," and he would like just run over it because he thought we were calling
That
him.
is so sick joke, but that's amazing, I guess. Wow. What type of breed is it?
He's a Maltese. He's
I had a
tiny.
Maltese, and then it died.
No.
R.I.P. Yeah. Well,
You actually love dogs? It seems like
I
your
love
hate
kicking them out of my house.
for
along
your
with my
current
dad.
dog is
We don't
severe.
hate her. We just are indifferent. It's a very long story.
Whatever.
Very, very long story. Well, that was a wonderful introduction. And if I was both Mark and Elon, you would have already been hired.
Oh my god.
For what job?
You would have been fired. Alrighty, so today we're gonna play a little game. The game is simple. So I've done a lot of watching Korean shows before in my past. You know, I'm sure Tiffany has quadrupled the amount of time I've watched those shows. Let's be honest here. Baekhyun. But there's always a game that's really intrigued. Is that a word? Yeah, that's a word.
Intriguing.
No, that's not the. I'm using it as an adverb. That was close. Intrigued me.
Oh.
And it was this game that specifically Kim Choi used to be really good at, where you play a song for a second, and you have to guess from that first second who it's. Well, I guess not really who it's by, but the name of the song. And Tiffany and I actually played this at our friend's house last week, and we were terrible. But that doesn't mean you're terrible, because our other friend who played it was amazing.
Yeah, he was amazing. So
Absolutely stellar.
let's try out your skills.
Yes, so Jenny, your phone unfortunately
Here, I got it.
turned off, but that is okay, because I'm actually going to start off with Tiffany, because I want to bully her first. So Tiffany, I'm going to play the song very loudly so our listeners, audio listeners, only can listen to the song. There's no way you don't know these songs, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
10.
Oh, no, that was not it, but I was going to say, I'm thinking of 2 numbers, sorry. Whichever number you're closest to is whether or not you're going to get a guy's playlist or a girl's playlist. So, go ahead.
Oh, 5.
It's not helpful, because I guess 3 and 7.
Just go with 10 then.
10? Okay, you're getting guys. Well, good thing for you, because my playlist has a lot of EXO. Bad thing for you, because my playlist has a lot of other things besides EXO.
I actually do better with girl groups.
Ugh, I don't really care. But that's okay. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
What do I think you're going to know? You have to know this. Okay. Close your eyes, by the way. Sorry for the loud noise.
You just scared our listeners.
That's why you're going to lower the volume when that actually happens. So have fun editing.
That's
this.
NCT, right?
But what's the song name?
90s Love?
Okay, wow. She's a bit of a nerd. All right, I'm gonna do one more, and then Jenny, I'm gonna toss it over to you. Okay?
One more from me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one for you.
I know all the songs. There's just some point.
Give me a chance to bully you. By Kim.
Kim. Let me tell you, you're a little off on the Kim.
Okay. Well, it's like the Goblin original soundtrack. Like.
Damn it. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Isn't it Paul Kim?
Oh, no.
Oh. It's a beautiful life.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We got Beautiful by Crushed It. All right, well, you did very well. Jenny, it's your turn.
Yes. Okay.
If you do not get 2 out of 2, and she does, it's going to be
It doesn't
really
mean
embarrassing.
anything.
Okay, but the problem is I have a lot of Chinese on the playlist.
That's completely fine.
So Tiffany's
You can
gonna
just-
verify if I said it right.
Okay.
Oh. I got you,
You
don't
are
worry. I'll verify.
excluded.
If it's Manual of Youth,
Oh, I know.
what do I say?
So like no, High on Life, right?
What the heck?
Right by
Yeah.
Martin
Yeah,
Garrix.
that was
Yeah.
actually right. Oh my gosh, you're gonna actually get 2 out of 2. I was gonna bully her, but oh my god. That was impossible. There's no way, right? Now play the first second again.
Shoot, I don't think I.
Okay, play 5 seconds.
Okay. Okay, I
No.
win. Winner declared.
Wait, what was it?
Just say you didn't know it. Just say you don't know that song.
I don't know. Sometimes like random songs show up, but
See, it was a random
I
song. Give her
lost.
another one. Give her another one. Whatever. Well, do you feel like, Jenny, you had a fair enough representation of your music knowledge?
yeah.
Wow. Okay. That works for me. All right. Well, we will catch you guys in 2 seconds, but for us, it'll be 24 hours.
I actually talked to Jenny last night,
Wow.
past 12, just to talk to her, and I was to collect some information for today's podcast, and I asked so many random questions and tried to figure something out, but then I actually found something I want to talk about. So she said she is a drawer or a painter. That I actually didn't know, but Henry actually browsed your like artist
You
website
did?
I watched the whole video.
Oh my god.
of
Okay.
the dance performance.
Jenny, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I couldn't tell what was going on. I was so lost. Your hand was moving so fast, but I was seeing nothing. Like, I was like,
you were painting upon some other paintings.
Oh yeah.
I just remember there was like a face. And you're like doing a
Yeah.
bunch of shading.
Yeah.
But I was just like, something is going over my head right now because I have no idea what's happening. Like, her hand's moving at the speed of light. You definitely didn't fast forward it.
I did.
Like, what am I? Wow, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said she still draws in her free time, although not during the last several weeks. As we all know, we all have a lot of homework
Well, some of us.
into junior year, including me.
Some of us.
I'm so surprised that I get workload.
It's just shocking. I don't know how you've made it
Yeah.
nearly 21 years of your life before we go into the topic. Because by the time this will come out, you will officially be 21.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Oh my god.
Kind of exciting. You're hella old. I just wanted to say that. So, just wanted to say before, even though that will come out after, happy birthday.
Thank you. And
I'm
next, just
surprised
Happy
you made
early
it here.
birthday.
You know, I'm sure your mom's surprised too.
as long as you don't do anything, I will live.
Okay. Well, thanks, I guess. Maybe next year you'll get a guy. Maybe next year. You got that. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, just wanted to interrupt you there.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
And yeah, on the drawing topic, I thought we can talk about something that's really hard to comprehend, which is professional hobbies.
You really couldn't remember those 2 words. So
And-
yes,
and
you did a terrible job. Hold on.
I
You did
give-
a terrible job.
I-
The topic is professional hobbies. There you go.
No, I give it a definition. Professional hobby means a field
I'll zoom in.
of study.
Oops, I zoomed in a little too much.
a field of study that if you devote to enough, you will become a professional. So it's different.
Eating.
I'm already a professional in that.
Yeah,
But
you were.
yeah, for me, it's playing the piano. And for Henry, probably playing Valorant.
I knew this was gonna happen.
And for Jenny, it's drawing. So
Wait. We're just gonna glance over that. Why was my hobby so much lamer than your two?
Oh, you think playing Valorant is lame?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so what is your professional hobby?
I told you eating.
No, that's mine.
Piano. Drawing.
Well, professional hobby is something like you still do in your free time.
Yeah, I play the piano while drawing and eating. I bet you've never done that before.
You shouldn't do that. You know, it ruins the piano.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Anyways.
do what I want.
So Jenny, do you want to talk a little bit about why you didn't choose the major you were going to go into?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I kind of started drawing when I was like in kindergarten. My mom signed me up for those classes. But I really liked it. I started with like Chinese painting with like the inks and like the brushes and stuff.
Oh, I drew frogs.
Hmm?
I drew frogs
Really?
for the Chinese
Oh my
paintings.
god, that's like the first thing I think every teacher teach. But like I moved to like drawing with pencils and then like oil painting, pastel paintings. And then high school I was super involved in like my school's art clubs and like just like art classes in general. And when it came to like applying for like colleges, I was considering just like the regular like universities versus like just like the art schools. I actually went to tour like a couple of them in New York and I really liked it.
May I ask which ones did you tour in New York?
Yeah, I went to Parsons.
That's where my sister goes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She does some art thing. I've got no idea.
Yeah, I mean I loved it. It was just like it's super cool and like
You mean the school or the major?
the school.
Oh.
Don't say that. She's gonna listen to this. She's gonna get a huge email. It sucked. The tour was horrible. It smelled like New York.
You didn't even go.
You're right. But this is what Jenny told me before we started. Right.
And I actually I wanted to major in fashion design. My mom she majored in fashion design in college. Yeah, so I guess it's like something from her. But
Is she still doing fashion design?
she was, but she like quit. She stopped working after my sister was born.
Oh, you have a sister.
Yeah. But yeah, but when it came to like deciding, I just didn't really know what I wanted. And I thought if I went to an art school, there's no way that I could switch if I want to back out from that. So I chose BU. And I had
a wonderful choice.
But when you think like if you go into BU, it's hard to compete with the art students if you want to go back to.
Yeah. I think for me, like when I decided I want to go to BU, that was kind of
the end of your art career.
Yeah, but
But you said you still draw like in your free time.
Yeah, I'm actually like minoring in CFA. I'm like a visual art minor.
So do you ever want to do anything with art once you graduate? You said you want to go into consulting, and that doesn't sound like
art. I love consulting.
Okay, my first track was kind of I wanted to minor in CS. I wanted to do a lot of things, but
see, I wasn't completely
track,
wrong. She said she wanted to major in CS, and that was when I knew her from freshman year.
Found out she had a sister.
Whatever.
I mean, same, but.
But I wanted to do CS and UI UX. That's kind of like art and like just combined. But I figured I'm not good at CS.
It's I heard it's pretty hard.
It's so hard. It was tough. class, one of the intro classes just kind of killed me. So I was like,
Same,
not for me.
same.
I heard they do it so that they just like weed out everybody who ever wanted to like kind of think about doing it. But if they're not fully committed, there's just no way they're ever going to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was one of those people that were like, maybe.
I wasn't even committed, so why was I in that class? Anyways.
We don't know, man. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm just like fascinated how many people like get so good with one skill, like artistically, and then they just all give it up in college and to just like pursue something new. Because for me, I feel like we are better at like piano or drawing than the subjects we are in right now, because we've spent like most of our lives like learning it. Like we've learned like the arts longer than our actual majors, but then we just decided, oh, we're never gonna be good enough at these endeavors and we're just gonna pursue something new and we'll be better at those things. But you're just starting something new and you don't know that if you'll be better, but you just think you will have a better future with a new thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's, to some degree, it's like a reality versus like
hopes,
like your
like what you wanna
passion.
do.
Yeah. So like I guess to some degree, like one of the reasons I didn't choose to go down the fashion designer path was like, if I'm gonna get a job after I graduate from like an art school, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, as you grow older, you kind of have to start thinking about like the more practical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still try to like continue my passion. Like I would go to the art museums during the weekends, or like I would just draw whenever I have free time.
Well,
That's
I mean,
where
you should
I
go
go.
with her because she
We
nonstop
did. We actually
asks.
went to one of them
Oh.
freshman year. Do you remember? It was
Oh.
like
Here we go. This is where it's going right over her head. So, guess it was 6 times instead of 5 or 6. Huh?
Yeah, well,
Can you sit back? I can't see our wonderful guest. I'm sorry. I don't want to see your.
well, for me, like when I chose it, I feel like the reason I gave myself was I won't make money if I major in music. But then now I think back, I think I was just scared that I'm not good enough, because I feel like so many people are just better than me, and like I start to wonder if I give up my passion just because I don't think I'm good enough at it. And then like if I'm just someone who's just doing art instead of a professional, I can have lower standards for myself. Like, does that ever happen to you playing Valorant?
Here we go. It's just ridiculous. So in high school, I
You
did a
played
lot of
piano.
sports. Like a lot of sports, and I was really good at running. I played a lot of soccer when I was younger, and I was really lazy. So the coach would yell at me like, "Why aren't you moving?" I'm like, "I don't want to. Like, just let him score." I obviously that was not a very good mentality. But in middle school, I was like, "Oh, I'm actually pretty fast." And throughout high school, I would train really, really hard. So like, what was it, like 70-mile weeks, just average like 12-mile runs for 6 days. I would do that for 3 months at a time and be in so much pain. Like my knees would be killing me, my back would be killing me, everything would be in pain, but I just thought it was normal. And then I remember my parents actually told me to quit because I was trying to apply to college.
Oh.
And they said it was too distracting. And so I quit, and I thought I would regret it, but I was like, it was the least amount of pain I'd ever been in years. I felt free. I tried it for badminton, and I had so much more fun than I've ever had running.
Oh,
my
let's go
entire
play
life.
badminton Friday.
I'd smoke you. You wouldn't even be close.
No, we will be playing on the same team.
Never. No. I think that's ridiculous. And yeah, it was something that I never thought I'd stop. But during college, I basically told myself I didn't want to ever do it again. Like, I could, I don't even remember this, but I used to, like, hate walking. Because I just didn't want to move.
When was this time?
So I was trying to gain, like, weight, a lot of weight. Because in high school, I ran for so much. Do you go by inches or centimeters?
Centimeters.
So I was 190 centimeters.
Ooh.
And maybe
Wait.
60 kilos, 65 kilos.
Oh my god.
Like, really underweight.
You were so underweight, yeah.
And during my freshman year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna change that because I just just feel better. And so I tried to gain as much weight as I could in like the span of like 3 months. So I gained like 15 kilos, something unhealthy. And I lost all of it during COVID. But I'm slowly trying to get back up there. And I never thought I'd run again until this summer when I was like, I should probably like do something for my heart because, the heart's kind of an important muscle in your body. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to run. First day I run, I picked the worst day. It was 35 degrees outside. No wind.
In California?
Absolutely horrible. I went, collapsed. Migraine, pain, crying. Some 5-year-old girl walked past me and laughed at me.
That's actually me.
Yeah. I was like, damn, I just got laughed at by a 5-year-old. Felt horrible. Took a day off. Next day I went again. Felt horrible again.
Oh, you actually told me that you got better after running consecutively for 7 days.
Yeah, and then after 2 weeks, I was like pretty fast again. Like I was kind of surprised. It was shocking how like quickly my body relearned what I'd done after so many years. And then I stopped because I was bored. But I just thought it was like interesting. Like, okay, so I know you say like with hobbies at least, a lot of people quit them, but then come back to them and realize that like after taking breaks, it can actually help you go further than before in a lot of ways because you learn a lot of things when you're just not doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot of things like my body is really bad with cement. So I'm not going to run on cement, right? And that's something I didn't realize in the moment, but something that my knees definitely told me afterwards. And so it's just like, it was kind of shocking. It's kind of cool too, seeing yourself like get better again. And I also think a big thing about hobbies is that when you don't feel like you're growing, and you don't feel like you're learning, it really hinges on the fact, for me, it makes it harder to do it. When I feel like I'm not progressing, but the people around me are progressing at certain things, you kind of feel like I'm wasting my time. So for example, I also used to play a lot of piano, right? And for one is, I'm sure you felt this too, I'm sure you felt this the same way. When you look around you and you're comparing yourself to everybody, you're just like, sometimes you're like, my growth does not seem to be on the same track as everybody else. Either I'm like not learning or I'm not doing something correct. And so the way that I used to supplement that was by doing more of it, right? So I'd practice for longer.
You're such a good child.
Well, it's not smart though, right?
No, it can be.
But usually just I'm now just hitting my head against the wall for longer instead of just hitting my head against the wall one time, I'm hitting my like 10 times now. And so you get even more infuriated because you're like, now I'm putting in the hours. Now I'm like really trying and I don't feel like I'm progressing once again at the same speed. And then that's when you're generally like, okay, I can't do it anymore, right? That's for me what I was like, coupled with like time, and you said future and stuff like those are definitely things that I've noticed about my hobbies at least. Thanks for the Valorant though.
Well, don't you think like it's easier to continue the hobby of playing Valorant?
Well, yes.
Because you got so much better than everyone else. I don't know if that's true, but I'm
You're
just saying
right.
to flatter him.
Max, if you're listening to this, Max is my boyfriend in California.
Okay.
She's right. I think one thing is hobbies become fun when you don't care as much. Like you just do it because you enjoy it rather than you do it just like...
Yeah, that's what you told me last night.
Yeah, that's definitely like one of the things when I was considering, like if I have to do it every single day, 24/7, I have to do homeworks about this, I have to like
read
like, test about it. Yeah, I'm like, am I still gonna enjoy it? Because I think it is a very important, like just art is a very important part of my personality, and like I don't want to ruin it, if that makes sense.
So you don't care if you don't enjoy your current major? I mean, just because it's something to do?
That's a future problem. That's happening in 5-10 years.
No, I just feel like people give up their hobbies because they think it's something to enjoy, and then so if you don't enjoy your current major, like that's why you major in it, because you don't have to enjoy it for that to be, your career.
Maybe you enjoy it so much that you want to make it your career. Like, I think what Jenny's trying to say is when you have those seeds of doubt about certain things, that just means that like that those seeds of doubt will always be with you, right? But when, for example, when you go into a major, you don't know anything about it. You don't know whether you're going to like it, whether or not you're going to like it. So it's almost like you're relearning everything, right? It's not like you're thinking of it as something that you can turn into a profession yet. It's more like, oh, I'm just learning a hobby. rather than oh, this is good. Like obviously it will become your profession if you stick with it, right?
Yeah.
But I think if you just consider like, oh, this is a hobby, I'm learning everything I can and I'm enjoying learning the process of learning it, I think that makes it enjoyable.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at almost.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's like, are we just, choosing our professions so that we can just keep learning it and like say, oh, this is something that's new to me, so however I do, like is acceptable. But then if something that I've learned for a long time and I'm still not good at it, like I don't want it to be my profession. And then after some time, your new hobby will become like
an old one.
Yeah, an old one. And then you're like, oh, I'm not good at this one either. So this is not my profession. I don't enjoy it anymore. So I should go on to the next one. So I was just wondering whether choosing professions is really about the money or about, giving yourself hope that you will still do better at the next thing you want to learn.
Listen, I got out of class 6 hours ago. I'm not fit to answer that. I'm too confused. Jenny, please go ahead.
I think like going back to what you were saying, like that having that seed of doubt in my heart, like maybe for me, like fashion design, I liked what I see on television. I like, the fashion weeks, like all the fashion shows, but like there's a lot of things that I'm not aware about, like just how the process of becoming like good at designing, like
how brutal like the whole scene is. Like people are super judgmental. I heard it's like cutthroat too, like you either make it or you're not making it at all.
It's pretty toxic too. I did this like whole like this class in senior year. I did it all about fashion design, and I just kind of learned all about the industry and like just everything behind the stage. And it's pretty toxic, I would say. And and I think that's when I figured out maybe it is a hobby of mine, but it's just something that I like to do, but I don't necessarily have to make it like how I earn my money, or like just becoming my profession.
Money off of it.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of answered my question, like how to choose between a hobby and a profession.
I was going to ask you something, Tiffany. Back in, like 2014, 2015, when you were going to run away to Korea and become a Korean idol, what were you thinking? Was that going to be a professional hobby or your profession? I just wanted to hear it.
That's going to be a profession.
Oh, okay. I like to hear that.
Because there's no way of going back.
Well, there's a plane. You can fly back to China.
No, like when you make life decisions like that, it's hard to go back. Like coming to America, it's just hard to go back to China and then get back to another middle school.
Me about it. Whew, I never went back. I never went there.
Well, and like if you go to Korea and train, like you've missed some of your years and you just feel like, oh, I've already put in 2 years. I'm already like behind other people in the normal track, in the normal world. Like I probably should just spend more time in Korea. Yeah.
You just want to meet Baekhyun. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my god, I had the same like thought, because I was super into EXO. I like become just like no, just like when they had like the what do you call it, like the auditions.
Oh, the global
auditions.
You're
petting your like hot pot. I was like, what?
But I was super into EXO, and then I just
no, not another one.
EXO. Oh. Okay, you will be on the next podcast.
I won't be on the next podcast.
So you actually thought you might go to Korea to train?
I just like, I think I was like 14 or 15 at that time. No, I just not the whole process or like the whole thing about becoming an idol that like appealed to me, but just like meeting my idol. Yeah.
I feel like I missed something when I was 14 and 15, but that's just me.
You could have become the next NCT, the giraffe of the group.
I was too busy running away from my problems.
If you run enough, you'll run from America to Korea.
You have to literally swim. There's no running. And I'm not that good. Oh, a triathlon? You're right. So, I kind of want to go back to the talk of hobbies, because I didn't realize I was going to start something so horrible with my K-pop comment. In terms of hobbies right now, right? Because you said you haven't drawn in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Do you kind of let it just, at the spur of the moment, if you feel like doing it, that's when you're going to do it? Or do you ever feel like, well, you know, I should practice, I haven't done it in a while? Like, what's your mindset towards that?
For me, it's kind of like the first, like, because drawing, I mean, you do need practice, but there are just moments that, say you're, like, by a beach or, like, just, like, out somewhere and there's a scene that you want to record it, or just, like, even taking a picture on your phone and going back and, like, recreate it. I don't carry a sketchbook around.
Wow, all artists just got so triggered right now. Doesn't carry a sketchbook.
Yeah, that's also like one of the reasons I didn't go into art school, because I feel like
because you don't carry a sketchbook.
No, because
It's too heavy.
I feel like I wasn't one of those people that are like not to be like stereotyping.
Let go out, because if my sister hears this, I want it to be like a roast. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I wasn't one of those kids that I was like, I know I want to do this. I was just, this is what makes me happy and I'm gonna do it.
Wow. Just makes you happy. That's adorable. What makes you happy, Tiffany?
Sleeping.
I was gonna literally say that. That's crazy, because I was thinking the same thing about you. Wow.
Yeah, weirdly, like, well, not weirdly. Scientifically, sleeps make people happy.
Yeah, because it's just you're just half a step closer to death. But here's the thing, I thought your talk about like the fact that you take a photo sometimes and you recreate it. I've never had a moment like that in my entire life.
Really?
Because you don't draw.
Well, I have no artistic bone.
Okay, let's see.
Please don't. Is that something that you've ever experienced? Oh my god, I gotta do this.
No.
Because I've never seen it happen for you.
So for me, I feel like I can't just do something when I feel like it. Because I will feel like it when I'm in the shower, and when I come out, it's gone. So like I would have this story idea when I'm like showering, and I was like, oh, this is great. And when I come out, I was just like, oh, let's watch more K-pop videos. So I would need like a class or a deadline that forces me to do it. And even if I have nothing that I want to write about, but I still have to write something, that helps me to like create something that I might feel proud of. So if it's something that I want to do, like a hobby that I want to continue, I don't think I can do it willingly. Like even if it makes me happy, I don't do it. So I would need some kind of a outside force to help me with that.
That's a really good point. I think I've had your mindset, but I switched to your mindset later on. So like for me, to motivate me to work harder, I have to know what I'm working for. Like whether it's some like end goal, or there's a thing that this date that I have to like compete for, right? And that makes me train harder, work harder, because I know that's coming. But now, like, there's like the only deadlines I have are like homework, and I don't get motivated for homework, presentations, and I really don't get motivated for presentations, and my hobbies have no deadlines anymore. But it's just like sometimes you just do it to do it. Like I know for you, right? She came to Boston early this summer, like back from Beijing, because she had a recital that she thought she had to play for. But that basically got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And have you practiced since?
So I was practicing.
Not to put you under the
I was practicing
spotlight.
so much during the summer, and my mom was super happy about that. Like I would actually go up and practice without her asking me to, because I know I have a recital coming up and I have invited family and friends to see it. So I was like, I can't embarrass myself in front of all those people. And I practice a lot more than usual. And right after I heard that it's not happening, I was like, ooh, party!
Yeah, I remember this.
So like I didn't touch the piano for maybe a month until I had to go to my piano lesson again when school starts.
That must have been a disaster.
So I was like, okay, I need to restart playing the piano. So I probably practiced once or twice before the lesson, and I was terrible at the lesson. And the teacher was still like, oh, you've made improvements. You wouldn't have made these.
Wow,
if
they
you...
just lied straight to your face.
You've made improvements. Like you wouldn't have done these if you didn't know that you have a recital coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still take classes.
Yeah, I take piano lessons every week. I feel like just to motivate myself to still practice every week.
So why do you think you need to be motivated? Like, Jenny, I kind of hear your side too. Like, why do you think you don't need to be motivated in terms of like a deadline or something like that?
I feel like it also like it's just like different hobbies have like different, I guess, measurement of like how good you are. Just for me, like, because art, it's very, very subjective. Like, you can't say like, oh, how fast I run, or like how good I'm playing this music. But like for art, it's, you have more
freedom,
you have more room for like your own creativity. And I feel like even though I'm taking classes in CFA right now, it's more of like what you want to express more than what other people think of your piece.
That's actually why I chose writing over piano, because like even if I write something terrible, I can just say, oh, this is my style, you just don't get it, I'm ahead of my time.
And how many times have you been told like, this makes no sense? Just
from you, you're behind my time. But for piano, there's there's not only one way to play it, but there's kind of just one way to play it. Like the technique is really important, and you have to get that first before you
that's true.
Get all the expressions and stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking like I cannot stop thinking about Long Long, and the way I watched him live.
Well, that's after they got accomplished.
Yeah,
so they can do whatever they want.
Aspect. Then I was like, the expression was like interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but for writing, like, nobody can really judge me.
Just the writing critics, who just critique your writing. They're just those people, those ones. Yeah.
I will write my critiques for them back.
So we got a comment once. So I don't know where did you post this?
Bilibili.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but she posted a episode of us. It was when the Asian American Pacific Islander
the API.
And we have a very light atmosphere. So
we were pretty happy on that episode.
Well, okay, hold on. Wait. Don't say the words happy. But we weren't so melancholy. How about that? We were more like trying to make the situation lighter. Someone was like, how could you laugh at a situation like this? And she hit her. How could you even breathe? Like, I hate you, your mother, and your father. If I ever see you in person, let me know that 195 centimeters of me are going to step on you. And I was like, Tiffany.
Yeah, if she writes 2 lines, I will write 10 paragraphs.
Tiffany, it's going to be okay.
No, but I kind of just explained, trying to, befriend her. So I was like, if she paid this much attention to our podcast, we might as well, get he or her to be a listener of our podcast.
I mean, they're probably scared of our podcast now. I'd be scared. I'd be like, oh my god, damn, that's a response.
Yeah, you never mess with the writer.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Well, I think you really showed them that you will critique the critiquers because dang.
Yeah, but my previous point was that there are ways to get famous by not going the traditional ways in writing. Like in music, you have to go the traditional way almost. But in writing, you can just write something so abnormal, and people would be like, "Oh, she's the artist."
Beauty.
If you write there's that piece of music that's just silence, right?
Okay. The reason why, so she didn't actually ask me to go to a art museum before. I told her no. The reason why is because in San Francisco they have the SF MoMA, which is the Modern Museum or something, whatever. Okay, I went, and it was literally the first exhibit was an upside down toilet, and I actually asked the lady, "What the hell? What?" And she's like, "I'm not allowed to explain it." I was like, "No, you really should. Like, they're paying you for this." And she's like, "No, just think." I'm like, "Okay, think." I can't think of anything. The next exhibit, white paper. It was just white papers. I'm like, okay, I know you guys are gonna tell me it's different shades of white, but like, how did this end up in a museum? And she's just like, think. I'm like, I'm thinking about hitting you. She's like, think harder. The coolest part of the museum was something that had accidentally happened where like a bunch of vines grew on the side of a wall and they just never cleaned it up. I thought that was the coolest part of the museum. I was like, oh my god, when they did that, like that's a cool exhibit. And she's like, oh, we didn't actually build that. I'm like, ooh, my bad. So I guess you're kind of right about the expression part because I was really confused.
Yeah. So, as long as you bribe the art curator, you can get famous.
So they must have paid a fortune for the upside down toilet. Like I was just like, what am I looking at? Like it's so strange. So my sister, I kind of alluded to this. She does a lot of art, not art that I'm proud of, by the way. She did a lot of things like
I'm proud of.
No. Like very disappointed. It's very weird. She did a lot of things for like. Do you know the game Minecraft?
Mm-hmm.
She's addicted to drawing the Minecraft players. Yes.
That's cool though.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I actually remember that it was a beautiful summer day last summer, and I accidentally introduced her to Minecraft, and she went ballistic. Absolutely absurd. She made TikTok accounts. She streams her drawings. She goes crazy, and she really enjoys it. And so my parents were like, well, we don't really understand what is going on there, but she seems happy, you know? So we're just kind of letting her go through.
She looks professional and artistic.
I actually wanted to ask you, because you said your mother was also a fashion design major. Mm-hmm. Was she disappointed in the fact that you didn't want to pursue it as well?
No, she was, when I was like picking my major, she kind of like walked me through both paths. She told me like what to expect if I go to a fashion school versus like, I mean, she didn't go to like a regular school, but like just like telling me what I will like, what's like kind of like waiting for me if I go down the fashion like art school. But yeah, I mean, she was super supportive like both of my choices, and I'm very thankful for that. But she would teach me some like basic like fashion design things if I want it at home or like when I have free time. Yeah, she has like a whole sewing machine at home and she like makes stuff sometimes.
That's sick. My mom only does that when I rip my jeans. Yeah, she puts a little
My
piece of
grandma
paper over it.
does that for my pants.
The one in Mongolia?
Yeah.
The one with had a stroke?
Do you have to bring that up?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say she's still doing that because that's hella impressive.
No, like 20 years ago.
Oh, when you weren't alive. Oh, you were alive.
Yeah.
Because you're now 21.
Oh, right.
Yeah, drinks on you.
I didn't realize that was such a long time ago. Maybe like 15.
Okay, well, that's fine. Because I feel like my parents, they are Asian, but they're more like American Asian. And that I contribute that to the reason why they're supportive. But I actually want to hear from you. Because I want to hear from your mom.
Oh, actually, my mom, she's so Chinese, but she's also a rebel. So.
Ooh, a Chinese rebel. Like from the party or like?
No, just like in life in
my bad.
general.
Sorry.
She loves doing things abnormal and just, going off track. And like when she's sad, she's like, that's why my life is horrible now. But like when she's happy, she's like, I'm so different from everyone else and everyone wants my life. So when I say I wanted to major in music, she's like, I love musicians. And
wow.
She was just like, yeah, I support you just because I think musicians are cool. But she's like, yeah, it's true that you will probably not make that much money and that's a problem.
So what about writing?
But I still love musicians. And writing, she's not so passionate about writing because I think she doesn't think writers are as cool as musicians. But yeah, she was really supportive about whatever major I want to choose, although she's still trying to talk me into majoring in business. I said I will not do anything with business in my life.
In your life?
Well, I will probably make money. I'm saying like
you'll probably lose some too. I'm
saying like business as a profession.
Oh.
So like I probably won't be a accounting major for even a art museum. For art companies, like I don't want to touch that. So it's a waste of time to major in business. And she just sort of gave up after some time. Yeah.
I feel like I kind of like grew up in the same like environment. My mom and my dad, they're like not like the typical like Asian parents. Like I remember I was so nerdy in like middle school and like elementary school.
Define a nerdy Jenny. We want to hear
Like
this.
okay, like
this specifically they want to hear this.
Ready for this?
Okay.
Like I don't know about you guys, but like from like in Shanghai, their like my classmates' parents would send them to like what do you call it, like tutor
Oh yeah, I got some
classes and stuff, and I wanted to go. Like I want to be sent to tutoring, but my parents was like,
get a load of her. What? What the heck?
my parents was like, no, we don't want you to like waste time on those kind of stuff, so that they sent me to like the to go to like art classes and like just like go to the parks during the weekend because like they wanted me to have fun.
My mom did the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. I was sent to those tutors.
Yeah, but she sent me to English classes every weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've been practicing English since back then and
Yeah.
still is back?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I started learning English since like 7 or 8.
Like a clock? Because that would make a lot of sense. Because I think it's 7:52. So 52 minutes of practice makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I would jot down the grammar points and stuff. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Jenny, go please.
Where was I? Yeah, okay. So in my classes, it's kind of like they rank you based on like your score.
Mm-hmm.
And then cause like I just wanted to be up there, you know, cause
Yeah.
like they announced it to everyone.
Yeah.
So and I don't know if you guys had like the exercise books for like different subjects.
Oh, like workbooks?
Yeah. My mom wouldn't buy me any of those. They're
Really?
like, don't waste your time on those. I would go out and buy them myself.
Well, were those necessary for your classes or not?
It was just like extra stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would do it when they go to bed. I would like just get up and do it.
What?
That's how like nerdy I was.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna leave. I don't think I can be here anymore.
But yeah, they were just like, they wanted me to have fun. So like, there weren't like any of the other parents that were like,
Oh my god! But
Go to
will they
this
know
class,
that
go to
your
that
fun
class.
was studying? Wow, that's a
oh,
plot
that
twist.
was.
That's a plot
Wow.
twist.
They probably brought you to America to stop you from buying those workbooks.
Really?
I got sent to like an international school later, but that's a different story. But yeah, I was just feel like I was very different from how my peers or like my classmate back then and how their family environment. And I mean and I think that shaped me as a person and like helped me to grow my interest a lot more, because it was when like back then when I had time to actually go to like art classes, and like I played a Chinese instrument too. That's like
Is it
instead of going
the
to like
string
English
one?
classes. Yeah.
Thank you. I knew it.
All Chinese instruments.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, but you were like that, but it was like the long one.
Yeah,
with
but
the
that's
strings.
Plucky. Thing.
Yeah, you plug it. Yeah, but
You
Wow.
pluck strings.
No, you have a bow too for some string instruments. Thank you.
So Jenny was in the middle of talking, and I feel like what she has to say is very valuable, more valuable than the video itself. So I didn't stop her to restart the camera.
Oh, so you have like a little Chwang live screen while she's talking.
Yes, you guys can appreciate the artwork his sister made for us.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we could. Jenny, I don't remember where we stopped, but you can continue wherever.
Yeah, she just said she doesn't get into bed after her roommate sleeps.
Oh yeah, I
to
asked her the
do
question
the
if she sneaks
workbook.
under her sheets and still does that, because I think that'd be really amazing. But I'm glad you don't. We have I have one last thing that I kind of want you to help us with. When I did my external research, I noticed that your Instagram is much better than both of ours combined.
Oh, okay.
You just wanted to kick me.
No, I was ready to kick you if you say than Tiffany's.
Than both of ours, but mainly beat Tiffany's. So
Okay.
I was gonna see, in terms of, because you know a lot of fashion. Let me give you some context for me. Maybe you can give some context for yourself. So in high school, I used to only wear running shoes, running socks, running shorts, running shirts. That was my entire outfit. I only wore that for 7 days a week, 24/7, 365 days a year. And when I came to college, I was like, uh-oh, like this is probably not a good thing. So I was like experimenting with a bunch of things, and I ended up with the wear baggy clothes and just don't care anymore. And actually, we were looking to see if we could get some advice on how to make our Instagrams great. I was gonna add the word again, but I'm not going to. So, for example, Tiffany has posted a photo within the last few weeks, the same Utah sweatshirt, the same blue Utah sweatshirt that she apparently really loves. But I've bullied her because of it, because I looked at yours and you never have the same outfit. But I tried to convince my girlfriend to posting a photo, and she's like, I will never post it. It's like, it's the best photo I've ever taken. It's like, you gotta post it. And she's like, no, I wore that outfit on 12/16/1962. I was like, is this a thing that like mattered? So, if you could give us like 2 pieces of advice to make our Instagrams Instagrammable worthy, what would you give us? That was a word.
That's a good question. I feel like regarding to like repeating wearing the same clothes.
Oh, take notes for this one.
I mean, it's like cause like people like do that sometimes when they like post like 3 posts in a row, you know, just to make like a row.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about? Like,
yeah. So it's like a color-coded row. Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, they took all those 3 photos in the same setting. I wore the same clothes in 2 different days and posted them because in Utah we didn't know it was gonna be that cold, and we only bought that one sweatshirt at the airport. So like that was the only thick clothes I had.
So would you say that's a no-go? Like, oh, that would go in the archive.
I mean, if you haven't noticed, I wear the same clothes, but I just like change my pants or like wear like a hat or whatever.
Oh. Did you wear a hat or change your pants? I'm pretty sure you wore the same jeans. If I'm just trying to go back in my memory here, same like jeans.
Okay.
Yeah, look things. What?
You just didn't see my jeans because like the photo was just my upper body.
That's genius. Okay, so the outfit, how frequently it's not as important as it should. You can like spice it up with like little things, you know. Okay, so that's the first tip. Is there a second one you can give us?
You were asking for a second one?
Yes, because I asked for 2 tips.
Okay.
One for you and one for the listeners, not me, by the way.
The second one is to find a good photographer to take your pictures.
Oh.
That's why I don't have good photos.
You gonna really do Melody like that?
No,
Wow.
I'm doing you.
I try not to take photos of you. Try not to. So do you like have someone that you know?
I actually I would say not most of, but a lot of my pictures are taken by my sister. Surprisingly, she's like, she's in middle school, but she's like really good.
She's in middle school.
She is really good.
Oh my god, it's doomed. You're getting out photographed by. Well, I guess I'm getting out photographed by a middle schooler.
You know, artists, they are more talented than us. Whenever our age is. You
No.
just said our gross processes are different.
What? What did you say? Our gross profit?
Processes.
Oh, sorry, I misheard something. I was gonna say, what?
You're
you
not-
calculated the cost and the revenue and you found the gross profit?
You're not in class.
Yeah, for real. Well, Jenny, thank you so much for this wonderful hour. I feel like I actually learned a lot about both you and you in your Chinese conservative mindset. But that's okay, because today we'll be ending off with you giving the whole spiel about our socials, because I already did at the beginning.
All right.
Yes.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, you can check us out on Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube, WTBU.org.
WDRadio.org, but they changed it?
No, they didn't. Did I say YouTube? And Instagram, all at Chwang Vibes. Our personal Instagrams at Tiff__Beck, Beck as in Pecan, and Henry at HenryChang314, and Jenny at
Just
forced her there.
_, ZHISHUN.
You started with underscore?
It's MA and then underscore.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Oh.
Well, but if you didn't enjoy this episode, you can leave us comments and I will see you there.
Don't do it. Please don't do it. Anyways, guys, I hope you all stay very safe out there. COVID's still a thing. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.